Fibromyalgia, diffuse, achy, sometimes disabling pain, fatigue, brain fog, insomnia, irritable bowel, restless leg syndrome. It's these common symptoms that people have, and we give it this name called fibromyalgia. The most important thing for these individuals is to reestablish deep restorative sleep. So one of the key things that happens with these individuals is they develop insomnia.
Sure.
Struggle to fall asleep, struggle to go to sleep, stay asleep. You know, with pain, it's
100%.
Brutal, right?
100%.
So they get in this cycle where they're not sleeping, and some of them for decades. And we know if you're not getting deep restorative sleep on a consistent basis, you increase your inflammatory chemicals by 40%. If you got somebody already has a lot of inflammation, and then they increase that inflammation by 40%, right? And then they have a low pain threshold. It just makes sense that's where we would focus, right?
Right.
So there's keys that will allow them to raise that pain threshold.
Got it.
One of those is, and I use this analogy, that we're all born with a stress coping savings account. And in that stress coping savings account, we have certain chemicals that allow us to deal with stress. And all day long, we're under stress. We don't think about it. Our body's releasing serotonin, the happy hormone serotonin that people have heard about, dopamine, which is a pain blocker, cortisol, DHEA, magnesium. Anytime you're under stress, you're releasing a lot of magnesium for the mitochondria. These folks have bankrupted their stress coping savings account.
Sure.
Something came along that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Failed marriage, toxic work environment, an illness, a surgery. And when that happened, that was it. And they can never get that vitality, that self-healing ability to work.
Interesting.
And then the symptoms just start to pile up. Totally candid. I mean, the grass was greener on the other side for me as a chiropractor, because when I started working with these fibromyalgia patients, incredibly complicated patients, I thought, oh gosh, if I just had my medical license, I could prescribe very judicious, but an integrative approach.
Right,
right. A little bit of medicine, pharmaceuticals, and then the natural stuff, and that would be perfect, right?
Right.
So naively, I started this medical practice, and it was this 10,000 square foot practice in the campus of a hospital in Birmingham, Alabama. They kind of recruited me. Had 5 medical doctors there, and we were working with these folks from all over the Southeast mainly. And but I realized that the drug therapy didn't matter. It was a dead end. It didn't. Now, we could help them short term. There's definitely a place for that. But long term, it was not going to solve the problem. It was really about testing instead of guessing. It was really about trying to find that underlying trigger, or triggers plural. But you're right, everyone's pain is different. There's different triggers. The last 3 years, I can't tell you how many people with fibro that I'm seeing have mold toxicity. And that's one of the things creating pain for them, is this mold toxicity issue. You asked me 3 years ago, I said, yeah, I don't deal with mold. But I started getting these patients and doing the testing, and they were doing better, but then something would be, well, what am I missing?
Right.
And then there it was.
Right.
It's like, okay, so now, the same thing with Lyme.
Right.
3 years, 5 years ago, I guess, I didn't know, what Lyme, that didn't really have anything but to do with fibro or chronic pain, and obviously it does. So everyone's trigger or triggers is going to be different, and it's a matter of doing the detective work and figuring that out, and then taking the steps to get healthy to fix those things.